Spartacus, Fugitive from a Chain Gang, The Alamo, and many others. Here is the setting for Natalie Wood in a scene from her starring role in West Side Story. While the props are being gathered, the wardrobe being made, and the set being built here at the museum, on the other side of the world in Valencia, Spain, the gifted hands of sculptor Jorge Ballester are turning a lump of clay into the beginning of a living likeness of Natalie Wood. When the clay bust is completed, a plaster mold will be made from it, and from the mold, the head will be cast into wax. Each hair will be put in one at a time, and the wax likeness will be painted to match the exact complexion coloring. After many weeks, the finished wax figure of Natalie Wood will make the trip from Spain to Buena Park, California, and the Movieland Wax Museum. Occupying a place of prestige here at Movieland are the faces and figures of the funniest comedy team of all time. Stan Laurel and Oliver Hardy were big box office and silent films. Later, they were even more popular in talkies. And today, they are followed by a new generation of fans as youngsters discover them on television. This is an accurate reproduction of the Bijou Theater set, complete with a real 1924 Model T. One of their ardent fans donated this actual 1929 license plate to help make the scene more authentic. Laurel and Hardy were box office smashers in more ways than one in this scene from their 1929 hit, The Perfect Day. They made so many two-reel comedies and features that for years they were more or less taken for granted. Everyone loved their films, but very few regarded Laurel and Hardy as true comedy greats. Only in recent years have they been acknowledged as the creative artists they really were. The pity is that much of their real recognition has come after Oliver Hardy's untimely passing. East is east and west is west, but here at Movieland, the twain shall meet. Here's Nancy Kwan in a scene from the world of Susie Wong, arriving by rickshaw at the door of the cabaret. Everything in this set was imported from Hong Kong. One of the most unique comedy drama teams of early talkies were Marie Dressler and Wallace Beery. They are pictured here in their 1930 hit, Min and Bill. Wally Beery could do comedy or drama with equal ease. Marie Dressler will always be Tugboat Annie to many of her fans. Talkies came in with a song in 1927, and just 4 years later in 1931, the first Hollywood movie ever filmed entirely on location out of this country was made in the wilds of Africa. The star was Harry Carey, and the picture was Trader Horn. A man with a unique distinction is Anthony Caprio. He spends his time coiffuring some of the most famous, most beautiful women the world has ever known. A case in point is Gina Lollobrigida, pictured here relaxing in her dressing room while making Flesh in the Woman. Shirley Temple as she appeared in the movie Bright Eyes, doing her hit number on the good ship Lollipop. When the Depression hit Hollywood, gangster and topical films were the thing. But later, musicals and family films took over. Shirley Temple came along at just the right time and became one of the biggest child stars of the new swing to happier movies. The Frankenstein Monster. The success of Dracula in 1931 led to the filming of Mary Shelley's classic horror story later the same year. It was handled with great skill and taste by James Whale and created an even greater sensation than its vampire predecessor. Boris Karloff became a star as the monster. Ironically, very few of his newfound fans had any idea what he looked like without that masterfully grotesque makeup. In this scene, Baron Frankenstein's sadistic assistant torments the monster with fire, the only thing he fears. The Our Gang Comedy Kids. Their antics will live forever in the hearts of that generation who followed their adventures every Saturday matinee. The career of James Dean was meteoric. This moody, intense, 24-year-old Indiana farm boy only spent 1 year in Hollywood, and yet he starred in 3 films: East of Eden, Rebel Without a Cause, and Giant. 1 week after the completion of Giant, he was killed in an auto accident. James Dean became the idol of his generation. He's a legend to his fans, just as this man was 30 years before. Rudolph Valentino had an Italian father, a French mother, and 7 names most people couldn't pronounce. He crashed the movies as a dancer and an extra and became the great lover of the silent screen. Men copied him, and women adored him. This is how he looked in Son of the Sheik, his best and his last picture. Rudy died right after he finished it. He was only 31 years old. More than 1 million of his fans blocked the streets of New York to attend his funeral. Vincent Price, the master of the macabre, as he appeared in the 3D horror thriller House of Wax. In this scene, Phyllis Kirk is about to be dipped in boiling wax by the madman, played by Vincent Price. The scene is made even more terrifying by the breathing of the helpless victim. There's always something new being added here at Movieland. This large tank will be used to dramatize a scene from the movie PT 109. A scale model segment of a PT boat was built and transported to Buena Park. PT 109, as you know, is the true story of the World War II adventures of John F. Kennedy as a naval officer and PT boat commander in the Pacific. The figures which will be seen in the display are being fitted out with authentic wardrobe and last-minute finishing touches. The figure of actor Cliff Robertson, who portrays the role of Lieutenant Kennedy, was sculptured in Spain, and the uniform, which was actually worn in the film, was donated by Jack L. Warner of Warner Brothers Studio. To give the sinking PT boat realism, special effects man Wally Wilger creates a little magic with live steam. 50 caliber machine guns are mounted, and the tank is nearly ready to be filled with 24 tons of water. A few hours later, the lights are given a last-minute adjustment, and the set is ready for the dedication and unveiling ceremonies. The guest of honor is the star of the picture, Cliff Robertson, arriving in real style in the chauffeur-driven Rolls-Royce, which is reserved expressly for the purpose of bringing visiting stars to Movieland Wax Museum. Alan Parkinson is on hand to extend official greetings.